Hi, I'm Morgan. This is Matt. This is Aupi, and this is Nandi. And this is our home. Follow along with us as we travel the United States in our 30-foot converted schoolie. This week we head to Arizona, where we spend a few days at the Grand Canyon and explore Sedona with my sister and dad. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yesterday we ended up moving on after the eclipse. We were going to do some walking or some hiking in Canyonlands, but decided not to, so we just sort of hung out. Aupi had a big nap. And then we went down to Moab to get a few things before we moved on. And we just drove a little bit up the road. Aupi was not really loving her car seat. So we, stopped around 7:30 and stayed the night here. Woke up this morning and got our first warning by the sheriff. Luckily there was no fine though. And yeah, today we're going to move on and start heading to the Grand Canyon. And we're going to meet up with my sister and my dad in the next few days. So have a few days, around that area. Sit back before you sit.
So the direction we came from actually took us in one entrance of the Grand Canyon, and then we sort of snaked along the rim on a beautiful, beautiful drive, like really, really nice, and then popped out another entrance, which put us in some. It's a state park, I think.
What are you doing back there?
Making the bed, Mum.
It doesn't look like you're making the bed.
What's Nandi doing? Nandi.
We've just arrived at our camping spot outside the Grand Canyon. And it's looking really nice. It's about 3 minutes from the entrance. And there's actually bike paths that go from this dispersed camping all the way inside to the canyon, which is awesome. These two have found a spot in the shade over here.
I'll be able to stick it in my mouth too.
The bus floor is looking a bit scary after camping for a few days in the desert. I'm gonna pull these rugs out, give them a big dust off, and then vacuum the whole bus. Hopefully that'll make it look a bit better. This is Aupi's newest pastime. Pulling out every single toy that she has in this little nook. You gotta duck your head, love. My dad and sister got in late last night, so we're gonna make some breakfast this morning and then head off to the Grand Canyon to hopefully do a big walk.
The Grand Canyon's a bit of a, I don't know if I want to say funny place to visit, but obviously when you're at the top of the rim, you know, it's incredible, you know, doing the rim trail, you see all of these different, you know, expanses looking down onto the Colorado River, and it's beautiful, and the bushland and forest around there is really nice as well. But to actually get into the Grand Canyon, there's not a lot of options. So at the South Rim here, we actually did one trail down into the canyon, and I think to hike to the bottom's like a 10 or 15 mile walk. So we just did a few miles down, which just gave you such a different perspective, because then you were looking back up at the cliffs and you could see the colours as you went through the layers of the canyon. So yeah, really cool to do. But it is, next time we visit, we'd definitely like to be a little more organised and try and get a permit to actually hike down, camp the night, and then hike out again the next day. Because I think that would really be the way to, see the Grand Canyon, in my opinion. So.
In a lot of the national parks. That's, the one thing that we really make an effort to do is do a few big hikes. And I would say this Grand Canyon one was actually one of our most challenging. And I don't know if that's just because I carried Aupi all the way on the way up, but it was really, really steep. And then we also did it around like midday, so it was like, the peak sort of sun hours. But yeah, it was quite challenging, I would say.
Yeah, it was steep. It was really steep.
Yeah, it was well worth it, but yeah, hard. Matt's on pancake duty this morning.
Yeah. Gotta fill up those gals of mine. Yeah. And we're having some sugar cookie sleigh ride tea that Auntie Roo brought. Apparently Celestial Seasonings are from Boulder, Colorado. The first herbal tea company in the United States.
Just come back to the Grand Canyon this afternoon to watch the sunset. Unfortunately, I think the South Rim is the wrong side for the sunset, because the sun is just behind those trees and the canyon is just there. What was your favorite part of the Grand Canyon?
It was probably the hike, and what?
The Point?
Yeah. Point hike. Wish we stopped there because I hated the stairs coming back up.
Least favorite part?
How cold it is at night in the tent. It's a little chilly, a little brisk for me. I don't like sleeping with socks on, so it's a little different.
Okay, favorite part of the Grand Canyon?
Oh, my favorite part? Let's see, hanging out with everybody for sure and catching up because we haven't seen you guys in forever. So that was by far has been my favorite part. And we still have a couple days of that, so it's not done. But the hike down the canyon was awesome. The view's been great. And I agree with Miranda. It's a little bit chilly not to go to bed. But there's no real bad spots. It's all been good.
Aupi, what's been your favorite part of the Grand Canyon? Oh, thank you. That was great. And what about your least favorite part? I get it.
Go, go.
We've just stopped in Sedona for the day, and yeah, we're just gonna have the day hanging out here, walking around town, sort of exploring the area before we move on to the Phoenix or Scottsdale area where my mom and my sister are. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that where we were staying outside of the Grand Canyon was a free dispersed camping site. But it was really awesome because it was only 3 minutes from the entrance, or the south rim entrance of the Grand Canyon. And there was also a bike path that went from the dispersed camping all the way into the national park, which we didn't actually use, but that was because we had my sister and my dad here. So we don't have 4 bikes, but usually we would be like right onto that and we would have rode our bikes into the park. But yeah, super awesome. If anyone has any questions about that, feel free to drop them in the comments. We just use the app iOverlander to find the spot, but yeah, really recommend staying there if you are visiting the Grand Canyon and want somewhere free to camp. Make sure to subscribe to catch our next episode when we head to Scottsdale, where we have lots of family time and start a new, very exciting project.